and this locker room is going to have to come together, because this is going to be a soap opera on the outside, much like the media has portrayed us to be from the whole season. So we have to be a disciplined team. We have to address it. We have to handle it. We have to come together, and we have to play football. That's our job, is play football, show up every day and do that. So that's plain and simple. And like Freddie said, instead of addressing the things of Joe Schobert has 2 interceptions, Morgan Burnett, I mean, it's just, that's the sad part about it, is our defense played lights out. Miles played a great game up until that point, and that's overshadowing that. And that's the bad part about this, of, you know, instead of talking about how the defense played great, and, you know, I'm going to talk about the offensive struggles, that we should have had more points. We left a lot on the board. We're going to talk about that until it blows over. And we don't know the extent of what's going to happen to Miles, but we have to roll with the punches, and we have to handle that as a team and come together.
Baker, you know Mason. What did you think about? What else did you think about what happened there at the end?
You know, it's tough to see. I didn't see the whole thing. Obviously, you know, stuff like that is dangerous. So it's tough to see that, knowing Mason. You know, he's going to fight for his team. I'm not sure if there were words exchanged before that or anything like that. It's tough to watch.
Baker, as you said, it's inexcusable. Did you feel anything during the game? That anything might be bubbling, or just a typical tough game?
No, I think, you know what, I think the frustration's built on that side of the ball with Pittsburgh. You know, Miles had a great game up until that point, like I said. I'm not sure if there were words exchanged throughout the game. I don't know that, and I can't speak on that.
Baker, how disappointing is it? This is, you know, Freddie talked about, this is the biggest win for this franchise in a very long time. Never beat Baltimore and Pittsburgh in the same season, and unfortunately we have to spend the postgame asking you questions about it.
Yeah, that's the bad part. Instead of feeling like we just won a game that we really needed, we talk about a singular focus and mindset. It feels like we lost, and so it's going to take time for us to realize that we just won this game, even though it's very obvious with the scoreboard. But that's the tough part.
Baker, you guys, you know, fought and won these last 2 games. Now you're in a position to keep this thing rolling. How much is it going to hurt to not have your best defensive player on the football field?
It's going to hurt us. You know, obviously we don't know what exactly is going to happen, but whatever does happen, next man up mentality, and that's how we have to handle it. That's how this locker room has to handle it. We can't focus on the negative. That it never gets you anywhere if you focus on the negative. So we have to address it, move forward, and see what's going to happen.
Baker, what's going through your head when you're watching it happen?
A little bit of disbelief.
Have you talked to Miles at all?
I have not. I think he's got enough people in his ear and hearing a lot of things. Not great.
Have you ever seen anything like that before, what he did with the helmet?
I think there was a game with Miami and Florida International. I can't remember when. That's the only time I've ever seen that.
Baker, is this any reflection on any kind of lack of discipline with this team, or is this more just about one player who lost it in the moment?
I think it's, you know, obviously a lack of discipline in the moment. Your emotions, you know, got the best of him right there. I wouldn't say that it's, you know, to point out flaws in Miles. It's not that. You know, Freddie talked about it. He's made corrections about penalties and stuff. He showed that he can do it. It's just an emotional game, and things got, you know, the best of him there.
But is it team-wide? Is there any aura around this team that would somehow allow this to happen, or you don't believe that, like, there's something inherent here that would create a situation like this?
I think there's a lot of things that you could probably point out and say, yeah, that's why this franchise hasn't had success in a long time. You know, discipline and accountability, but that's completely different than a lot of other things. You know, that's hopefully, and it will be a one-time thing. But you can't point out little mistakes to that. I don't think they're related at all.
So when you guys get back together as a team, what's the first thing you have to do for this team to move on to what's next, regardless of what happens with Miles?
Watch the tape, realize what we did well, and, you know, more than that, realize, you know, where we need to improve on, and move forward. When it gets back to work, it's on the Miami Dolphins. We have to have a singular focus. It's the same message that I've been saying. We have to have a singular focus.
If that didn't happen, what did this win mean for this team?
The win still means the same thing whether that happened or not. 2-0 in the division. We've stacked 2 wins together. Defense played great. Offense still struggled at times, sputtered out a little bit, but made the plays when we needed to, which is the opposite of what we did in Denver. We showed improvement, but it's still not even close to being good enough offensively.
You have to face this team again in 2 weeks. How difficult is that going to be when these two teams have to meet again after what happened?
We'll see. You know, I'm not going to worry too much about that. Got to move on. You know, talk about the Dolphins now.
Will you personally, reach out to Mason after something like this, knowing that you guys are friends?
I'll probably let it blow over for a little bit. There is no telling how many people have already tried to reach out to him now.
Were you out of the game for the final knee because Freddie thought there could be retaliation? Or?
Garrett gets paid for snaps. That's my friend.